My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Every single week, we break down full UFC fight cards. We give you our bets, we give you our picks, and we give you our fantasy plays. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our content. And this video is brought to you by BETU Play to Earn. It is the world's first play-to-earn sports and esports betting game. Check it out now at betuearn.com. That's bet, the letter U, earn.com. Next up, at UFC 272, we have Ludovít Klein stepping up on short notice to fight Devonte Smith. Devonte Smith, 11-3 overall, 3-2 in his last five. He's coming off a stoppage loss to Jamie Mullarkey, who was also on this card. Ludovít Klein is 17-4 overall. He's 3-2 in his last five, and he's coming off two disappointing losses in a row. So this is an interesting matchup for both these guys. We do not have DraftKings pricing for them just yet for whatever reason. But Devonte Smith is a good striker. He's got very real power, solid head movement, solid distance control. He picks his shots well, which at times does make him look gun-shy, but he's got solid volume. And it's not that he's not throwing it out there. It's that he's picking his shots. He's not just throwing things to throw things. This is a perfect time. Bang, there it goes. So he's got really solid accuracy. And right now, his takedown defense is pretty high as well at 80%. And granted, he hasn't really fought any wrestle-heavy guys, but he did have an incredible reversal in that Justin James fight, and he stopped a few of Jamie Mullarkey's takedowns in that as well. Ludovít Klein is a phenomenal striker. He's smooth, he's fast, he's accurate, and he's big for the weight class. He has missed weight in the past. That should be under control at this point in his career, but this is also at 155 pounds, not 145 where he typically fights. He's got fantastic kicks, and that was pretty obvious when he was riding a 3-fight head kick knockout streak in 2020. You know, I just mentioned that his striking is great, but he actually was losing those striking exchanges against Mike Trizano. So then he had to go back to his wrestling. And all of a sudden, Ludovít Klein, who's supposed to be this phenomenal striker, is shooting takedowns against Mike Trizano. And he was surprisingly effective. He went 4 for 7 over there, which is why I mentioned Devonte Smith's 80% takedown defense, because there is a world where even though these are two strikers, that Ludovít Klein starts shooting takedowns. And it should be a fun fight. We've got two strike-first guys. They're willing to mix it up on their feet. Both of them are talented strikers. We've seen both of them grapple in the past. You know, I mentioned Ludovít's weight. He should be okay here at lightweight. His weight issues have been at 145, not 55. But you just never know. I mean, I don't know what kind of camp he's been in, and he did step on up on about a week's notice. I just don't know what his cardio will be, but let's just assume anytime we get these short notice guys, I like to assume that they're in shape. I think Ludovít is the better, more technical striker. I think Devonte Smith definitely has way more power. His timing should be better as well. And I like Devonte to win. I mean, if Ludovít starts to fall behind, he leans on his wrestling like he did against Trizano, I think that works against him. I think he gets even more tired, and then that's just going to set Devonte up to knock him out. Because we've seen Devonte's takedown defense is fantastic. So I do like Devonte Smith to win here. He is a good-sized favorite. I think those odds are pretty wide. I don't think he should almost be a 2-1 favorite. But I do like him to win. Obviously, he's had the full camp. He's got the power. He's got the striking. We've seen him with some grappling, offense, and defense. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I actually, I'm done with Klein. I'm done with him. I've had enough of him. I think I picked him to dominate the last two fights he was supposed to fight. He just got dominated himself, so I'm done with him. He is probably the better striker in this matchup. Both these guys want to fight pretty, and you saw that in their last matchups. Klein versus Landwehr. Landwehr got in his face. You could tell Klein did not like that at all. He doesn't like the pressure. He likes the space to be able to throw those kicks. He got in his face, and he turned that fight. And you saw that same thing with Devonte Smith against Jamie Mullarkey. He kind of got in his face, and what really kind of turned that fight, Devonte Smith was dominating the first round. I think it was in the second round, Mullarkey hit him with a low leg kick, and it was one of those uh-oh moments where he started limping on it. And after that moment, the fight kind of changed. But you could tell the second that happened, Mullarkey turned up the pressure, and Devonte Smith, his leg was fine after that, but he just could not handle the pressure of Jamie Mullarkey. So both these guys want to fight clean. I think they're both going to get that opportunity. That's why the bet I put on this fight is over 1.5. I think the odds are minus 170, but I still think it's an easy over 1.5 because both these guys want to strike, kind of at distance, kind of play that game. And as fast as Klein is in his striking, he's kind of that slow in his defense. The dude gets hit a lot. And if I'm picking two guys that are pretty even, I'm going to pick the guy that doesn't get hit quite as much. I like the Smith's defense a little bit more than Klein's. And I think that if Devonte Smith is able to pressure just a little bit, you'll see Klein fold like he has in the last two fights. So I'm with you on Devonte Smith. I actually think the odds are pretty spot on here, but Klein probably is the more technical striker and probably a little bit more well-rounded, but I'm going to take the intangibles in Smith.
Yeah, and you mentioned how hittable Ludovít Klein is, and we have that it's right here on the screen. For every 3.35 significant strikes that he lands, he's hit 4.58 times. That's a negative striking differential for a guy that's supposed to be this phenomenal kickboxer. So
right, and you don't even need numbers, because I didn't know those numbers, but when you watch a fight, you're like, man, this guy will throw a fast head or leg kick, and then it's just like, he just can't get out of the way of punches.
Well, and you said it best. You said they both like to fight clean, so I'm picking Devonte Smith. It sounds like you are as well, but Devonte Smith can fold. We've seen him fold in the past. He doesn't, if you get in his face, you just start bringing the fight to him. He's not, he doesn't thrive there. He does want, look at his positive striking differential, 5.1 to 3.8. He wants to manage the range. He wants to keep it technical, and he wants to use his speed and athleticism. If you get in his face, you make it ugly and dirty, he could break. So it's an interesting fight. We both like Devonte Smith, but I don't think either one of us are like, oh, absolutely, definitely he's going to win, right? We're both, he should win. I'd say 60-40, right?
I'm going to go 72.
Okay.
Actually,
72.
give me 69.
I probably won't. I mean, I guess we'll see, but they're going to have Devonte Smith at like high 80s if he's a 2-1 favorite. So I'm probably not going to spend. Yeah, I'm probably not going to spend that. Granted, he's always live for a knockout, but there's too many questions here with his, he's been knocked out in the past. We've seen him break in the past. So DraftKings will drop that pricing later in the week, I'm sure. But the Monkey Knife Fight strike line is interesting. It's actually surprisingly high for a fight with 1.5 rounds. But don't forget, Devonte Smith is averaging 5 significant strikes per minute. So this is probably another more, and you bet the over 1.5 rounds. You agree?
Yeah, I think it's probably a more play.
Yep. I will probably play that. And these lines, we talk about Monkey Knife Fight, check it out now. Play these lines now because they move with the money. The guy who sets the Monkey Knife Fight strike lines has done us a favor, and he keeps the line through our live stream and overnight. But come tomorrow morning, which is Wednesday morning, that line will move. So if you like any line that we walk through, make sure you hit it. If you don't, then who cares? See what the money does to it, because maybe it's a little close. The money moves it one way or the other, and then it makes more sense. WeWantPicks.com/MKF for Monkey Knife Fight. And if you want 50 free bucks, we're doing a giveaway. I paid 5 of you today. WeWantPicks.com/bets. We have 5 betting partners. Jump into any of them or all of them. Make a deposit. Let me know, and I'll send you 50 bucks as a thank you. And frankly, I bet with multiple books. I'm pretty sure Jacob does as well. You got to play the odds, and different books have different pros and cons. So sign up for all of them. Make a deposit. Let me know.
The smart thing, what I did when I signed up for those books was I just put $1 million in each one. That's the easiest way to do it.
Well, and they deposit match. So get your free money, guys. WeWantPicks.com/bets.